Welcome everyone to TNT Spices. Today we have a favorite for many of you out there, brisket. I know beef prices are getting crazy. This was actually pretty reasonable. We bought this from an online place. They also have physical stores called Wild Fork. Now, the nice thing with today's brisket, it saved me a lot of work. This has already been aged for 17 days and it's been pre-trimmed. All I got to do is open this up, season this up. We're also going to make a couple of side dishes. Let's begin. We're going to place a binder. Now, I'm not going to use a hot sauce for a binder today. We're going to use a mustard. I'm not using just a plain mustard. We're going to use a mustard to add some additional flavor. I have Pilsudski's sweet hot mustard. We're going to apply this binder all around our entire brisket. Then we're not doing the traditional SPG, Texas style.
What's so great about Texas?
Don't you dare take the name of Texas in vain!
I'm using Dad's secret coffee infusion. It might not be traditional, but sometimes you got to go outside of your box and you have to try new things. And if you're going to try something new, this is the way to go. I'm telling you. Now, we're also not just going to apply our binder and rub and throw this out onto our grill. No, you want time to allow these seasonings to work, to do their magic, to penetrate into these meats. These are thick, big cuts of meat. It needs time to penetrate and do its work. So we'll lather this up. We'll put the seasoning on. We're going to let this sit overnight. Then tomorrow is when we will begin cooking this. So let's get started.
The next day.
Smoker is set at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. We are going to let this cook several hours until we hit our stalling point. Now, the stalling point generally comes in anywhere between the temperatures of 150 to 170 degrees. That's where pretty much the temperature doesn't seem to continually climb. When we hit the stall, we're going to take this, bring it back in to wrap this. We're going to begin making the side dishes. In front of me, I have a few vegetables, some seafood, and seasonings. This is a seedless cucumber. Now, this is something that's a bit different for everybody out there. This is a dosaki, which is also known as an Indian yellow cucumber. We're going to chop up our veggies here. Then we'll start assembling our side dish. Just as a FYI, with the dosaki, you can peel it just like you can a cucumber. It's optional. You can eat the skin on this. Now, we cut ours in half, and once you cut it in half, there's seeds just like a cucumber on the inside. Now, I scooped the seeds out. You can leave them on the inside. That is optional. They're edible. But the larger the dosaki, the larger the seeds, the same as a cucumber. It's all personal preference. I'm skinning these, de-seeding them, and I'm going to slice them up. I placed 8 ounces of imitation crab meat. I opened the package, just dumped it in. Next, the seedless cucumber. Our dosaki, or how about I just call it yellow cucumber. I'll throw this in. Our red bell pepper. Our fresh green onions. How about we do this? That's a lot bigger.
Get into the pot!
And I'll put it back in this to put it in the fridge. Here, I have a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I have 1 tablespoon of Farm to Fire's Bayou seasoning. Smells amazing. I have 2 tablespoons of Pilsudski's wasabi mustard. This stuff is amazing too, especially on sushi or things like this. We're going to give this a good mix. And I'll take my little bowl. We'll cover this up with some plastic wrap, put this in the refrigerator, allow these flavors to marinate together as our brisket continues to cook. And then later on today, we'll have this as part of our meal. Side dish number 2. Let's get started. I have 1 bag of pre-shredded broccoli slaw. This is a 12-ounce bag. You can find these in your local supermarket. Here, I have another doseki, or yellow cucumber, that I peeled and I sliced up into little, or julienned up into little tiny pieces. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey. I have 1 tablespoon of Pilsudski's dill mustard, or dill pickle mustard. I have 1 teaspoon of Papa Caps, the hatchet. Final ingredient, we're going to take a teaspoon of our SPG. Place this into a smaller bowl. We'll cover this up with some plastic wrap, place this in the refrigerator, and this will sit until we're ready to eat it with our brisket later today as well. We've hit the stall point at 154 degrees Fahrenheit. Brought the brisket inside. Now, normally I use butcher paper to wrap it. Today, I just don't feel like bothering.
I'm just lazy.
Laid out a bunch of foil instead. Here, I have some beef tallow. I'm going to pour some beef tallow on this. We're going to wrap this good and tight, put this back outside. We're going to let it continue cooking until it is probe tender, which is anywhere normally between 200 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're just going to let it do its thing.
Eventually,
our brisket has reached 203 and she is probing tender. We are going to take this off of our grill. We're going to wrap this in some blankets and let this rest several hours before we carve into it. Our brisket has finished resting. We let it rest for 2 hours inside of that foil. We had a ton of juice that came out of that foil that we've saved. Let's cut this open. Oh yeah, she is done. Let's cut this up, plate this up. We thank you guys for joining us here at TNT Spices. God bless.
TNT Spices. That's